Hello everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening with XRP in the XRP community. Now in CoinMarketCap, XRP is still stable, but today I did buy more XRP because something should happen. But now guys, before we jump into news, I'd like to say I'm not a financial advisor, nor is financial advice, just for entertainment value only. XRP Yo-Yo tweeted out, China is secretly hoarding gold and will unleash crypto XRP backed by gold and destroy USD. Look, please pay attention on his shirt, Ripple logo. XRP the standard is everywhere.
Make the case for gold and silver here, despite those numbers.
Well, like I said, the repo market is flashing financial catastrophe. And the reason it's flashing this, and markets are discounting mechanisms. They tend to be price sensitive to events that are not necessarily seen or known until they actually happen. And what's happening is that China is getting ready to open the trap door on the US dollar. Here's what I'm hearing, Daniela. China is about to announce that they, in fact, have not just under 2,000 tons of gold, but closer to 20,000 tons of gold on a very aggressive move to put the final nail into the U.S. dollar.
What's your source for that?
As you know, we do our show that's broadcast globally, and we have a lot of contacts all over Asia and in Eurasia and naturally in Russia. And the feeling is that this is the time for China to now step out and put to rest this idea of censoring their global trade, with the U.S. censoring SWIFT and other things that they do to curtail China and other countries, because China's making their big move for the 21st century. They're going to pull the trapdoor. And let me just add that they're also, as has been reported by the media, rolling out a cryptocurrency. A lot of the details have not been divulged. I can tell you that cryptocurrency China's rolling out will be backed by gold. It's a two-prong announcement. Number one, China's got 20,000 tons of gold. Number two, we're rolling out a crypto coin backed by gold, and the dollar is toast. The dollar's going, like every other paper money in history, to zero. And you say, where's gold going? Is it going to 5,000, to 10,000? It doesn't matter. In dollar terms, gold is going to infinity. In dollar terms, Bitcoin is going to infinity because the dollar is going to zero, like every piece of garbage fiat money before it.
Okay, wow. Okay, now I have a lot of questions. So, one,
Can we talk about Bitcoin Capital?
We will. I promise
you. Okay, it's up 600% in 6 years. 600% in 6 years. Bitcoin Capital 1, 2, and 3, and now we're doing Bitcoin Capital 4.
Have you been accumulating gold this whole time?
There you go, guys. I mean, I couldn't really see his t-shirt, but it did look like Ripple. But again, gold is coming back. Gold will come back. Next one comes from XRP.
Ask a question about globalization. If you could talk about the idea of the old concept of the banker coin and a neutral asset being in place of a global reserve status of the dollar, and possibly that being XRP.
What you're asking for is whether there's a possibility of a global currency, and to some extent that's what Libra was trying to do. And as I understand it, that's different from what XRP is trying to do. And the reason is as follows. As soon as you go to maintaining the value, right, some kind of stable coin, a whole set of regulatory concerns get triggered. I have to make sure that there is corresponding financial or real assets backing this notional value that they seek to maintain. That looks a lot more like a bank, right? Because you're promising some claims which are fixed, and that requires regulation for reasons I just talked about. Now, once you get an army of regulators, every central bank looking at it, then the question is, have you added a whole set of transaction costs to this, and is it worth, is it that useful? As I understand it, what is attempted with XRP is not so much maintaining the value, but offering a vehicle for exchange, which is quite different, because there you can have value fluctuating. All you need is value to be stable for 10 seconds while the whole transaction takes place. And as a result, there's a whole different need for regulation. You don't need to regulate value. I don't care. So long as there is some value, the transaction can certainly take place. And as a regulator, I'm not so worried about either this displacing my fiat currency, because you're moving from one fiat currency to another. It's just an interim value.
So, new people getting into crypto and XRP every day. If not XRP, it's because they haven't seen footage like this. Again, there's so many new people that's coming in, and a lot more. It comes from Leo. Ripple joins ISO 20022. Standards body, the first member focused on DLT. Now, if we go here, you guys, I'll leave this in the description below so you guys can investigate further, because there's a lot of news in this piece of article. Next week comes from XRP Store.
Bank of America, Standard Chartered, and Santander. So really trying to build up a global network where they're able to move money more effectively on behalf of their customers.
Some of the work we were doing in Japan, and we now have 61 banks in Japan alone using our technologies, deploying both globally, across border, as well as domestically. And in particular, one of the third largest bank in the world by assets is a bank called MUFG. They're the parent company of Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi. We announced them as a customer.
Visa's numbers is like the numbers to beat, 50,000 transactions per second. I think that is way, way lowballing it by many orders of magnitude. Cheap kind of home router can do something somewhere between 100,000 and 1 million packets per second. And that's just what you have at home. That's not commercial grade or anything. So when I think about packets per second, that's the way that I'm thinking about it. Payment latency and interledger, we're worried about the constraints of the speed of light. At a certain point, you can't move faster than, the electrons going physically from me to you.
Going right to payment alliances, we're going to financial institutions, we're going to the Federal Reserve and central bankers. We really are trying to work this from the top down, get liquidity into the system, get cash in and cash out pathways so that it will be more useful for everyone. It's kind of surprising that we're where we are, that we're being taken seriously by central bankers, that we have banks that are using the Ripple network today to make payments between banks. Surprisingly to me, we've actually been getting an extremely positive response from everything from the Federal Reserve to small and medium-sized banks to payment consortiums. Everybody seems to recognize that the payment system is broken. We're a long way. Unfortunately, we're a long way from making these systems safe enough for mass consumer direct use.
Right.
If I had to guess, I would say the fastest would be 2 to 3 years, which is really not that long.
No.
Yeah, technology moves very, very quickly.
Like Bank of America, are they open to Ripple right now? And if they are, or when they are eventually, how can Bank of America use Ripple right now today?
They are surprisingly open. That's another one of the things that really surprised me, because you kind of think of the existing financial system as perfect for banks and banks not wanting to disrupt a system that works well for them. But actually, banks have huge problems in payments.
Banks being connected, cash in and cash out. Now guys, we're into a fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now this is quite interesting. Crypto Mike tweeted out, within 2 days something big will happen that will shock the world. Something big will happen, we'll have to wait and see. Once again from Crypto Mike. I can see XRP someday exploding upward like the Luxor beam. Just looking at the chart and visualizing it smash through every cell wall with ease until it's basically unbuyable. Again guys, when this thing does explode, will it be unbuyable to buy back in? This comes from XRP HODL. I recognize those colors. I like the aesthetic. Keeping my eye on the prize. Project Eye on case study. And what is that? Right there. From Ripple. Baba Cook says tweet out, solve. These are two choices available in duality. One side or the other side. Everything's formed from that. Spartan 11.7, I know you will see this. Just know I got it. Nothing delays this plan. Nothing. So there's that picture again. The final tweet for today's video from Baba Cugs. May 2020, all your dreams come true. We see the May. But who knows what's going to happen. Anything is possible in 2020. But anyways guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. And yeah guys, see ya.
This is the beginning of the greatest economic cycle this country has had since World War II. And I knew the things that Donald would do, and he hasn't even got started. But this is the eye of the motherfucking storm, the perfect storm. It ain't never going to get any better. Never. This is perfect for the QLA model. If I could have written a prescription or a formula, I couldn't have written it any better. Low interest rates, money's free, you stupid. Massive chaos. And Donald's going to rip the mother economy apart. And he's going to for practice in a good way. This is it. It ain't never going to get anything better. This is like a multiple orgasm the rest of your life, you fucking slags that are in the audience. This is it.
Sometimes I don't want to hear what Dan has to tell me. But as I wrote in one of my blogs, the old man, he's always right. Because he's telling you what you don't want to hear about yourself, but what you know is true. And that is, you're not stepping yourself up. You're not stepping your game up. And you get caught up in fear. As Dan says, false expectations appearing real.